Hi everyone, welcome to Northeast Living. I'm Mark Jennings. On today's show, we'll be visiting one of my favorite places, Foxwoods. We'll also sit with the witty and the clever Jim Shea to hear all about his new book called Touche. I just love that title. We'll also give my feet a treat at New Balance, and newspaper columnist Jim McPherson is here to show us some great cleaning tips for the spring for our car. This and so much more coming up right now on Northeast Living.
It's that time of year. It's March and a certain madness is upon us. It's been pretty impressive the way UConn's been making its way through the tournament. Now with just a few more steps for them to make it to the championship, you're probably thinking it's party time. And I couldn't agree more. With a few simple pointers, you and your friends will be celebrating like party champs. The key is planning. The bottom line is you want to watch the UConn game too. You don't want to get stuck in the kitchen when the game's on, so you got to spend your time in here now, so that way you can be in front of the big screen later. Chips and dips. Throw them in a bowl and you're good to go. Hot foods take the party to another level. Make them ahead of time and keep them warm in the oven. Stagger them so that way when one's coming out, another's going in. That keeps them from getting too dried out and keeps restocking the food supply at the same time. Drinks. It's been cold outside, so I'm keeping them in my garage to save on precious refrigerator real estate. Can't do that? Invest in a cooler and some ice. Now, let's head into the living room. Mess management. Hey, you know it's gonna happen. So minimize that damage by making sure you have one of these, a roll of paper towels nearby and ready to grab. And another thing, forget the coasters because no one's gonna use them. Napkins are where it's at. If you put napkins everywhere, people won't think they're using coasters and you'll protect your furniture. Good friends and good planning makes for a good UConn party. And one more thing, go Huskies. Yeah!
My name is Demario Saul, Master Trainer and Principal for Quaba Fitness and Training. I'm a nationally NASM Master Trainer certified. I have my sports conditioning certification. I've been in the fitness industry for over 12 years. When I set out to open up a Quaba, I wanted to build something that was really for the people.
7! Stop it!
The meaning of a Quaba means welcome. And I chose welcome because it really allows the person to feel a sense of camaraderie right away. You know, if you look at the gazelle, it's the animal that represents the brand, and the gazelle represents a sense of life and freedom. It encompasses everything that we do here. That's how the grade 8 came about. These people had to weigh over 200 pounds to qualify. I'm big on functional training, programs that utilizes all your muscles to work at once. They have a competition every single week. It's a different exercise every single week, so we don't repeat the same program design. The minimum weight loss here is about 15 pounds. They're averaging as a group about 35 to 40 pounds a week. You know, so what a Quaba does is it brings you from the fundamental, from the basics, and then it progresses you. I grew up in a refugee camp. That it was a camp for just boys and I think maybe just a few girls. And I grew up as a child soldier. We were taught to really have aggression. After a while, certain things did not make any sense. And a couple of the kids and I had gotten together and we met someone who managed to get us out of Nigeria, brought us back to Ghana, and that's how I was reunited with my grandfather. Got me on a plane with this guy, lived in Jamaica, Queens with my mom, Southside. For the first time I met her. And you know, she died 2 years later. You know, it really prepared me for what I'm doing today because just the obstacles, man. The obstacles to get to this point has been very, very challenging, and it's built a lot of good character in me, you know. Quaba represents the totality of the person. You know, you're gonna get the support when you come here with the food. You're gonna get the support with the mindset. You're gonna get great support with the exercises, and hopefully with this process people will really get to understand exactly what we do and how much results we bring to people's lives.
We're here in Plainville, Connecticut, and we're going to get the exclusive tour of the 1,800 square foot house that the Home Builders Association is creating for the Connecticut Home and Remodeling Show. So it should be pretty fascinating. Come on. So tell me about this. This is actually going to be designed as a home.
Yes, a fully functional home, complete with everything. Master bedroom, master bathroom. There's going to be a fully functioning kitchen, a living area with a home theater, dining area, everything that you would see in a normal home. The total period is about 9 months, from the beginning stages of the initial design to building it and where we are now. And when we get to the show, it'll only take about 3 days to put together.
I know it has a lot of volunteers participating in this. Tell me a little bit about that.
It's a group effort of all of our different members within the Home Builders Association. We have a lot of people who are volunteering. They all are volunteers, so they're putting their time in, their materials, their services.
The Home Builders Association of Harford County is over 400 members of builders, remodelers, suppliers. And one of Jim's unique things was that he said he really wanted to build something that the HBA could use over and over again.
All the parts are modular so that in future years, this can be disassembled and reassembled in a completely different configuration with a completely different theme.
You have to have a real vision to look at this space and say to yourself, okay, I see this and this is how I see it. Tell me a little bit about your inspiration, how you're getting there.
Well, it's very exciting. Jim, actually, who you spoke to earlier, had the idea to have this a modern, chic space. So everything is going to be very contemporary, very modern, very urban, something like you would see in Manhattan. Lots of windows, lots of big windows, a lot of light in the space, you know, wow factors all over the place.
A little piece of New York City and New England, right? Collaboration is really what makes a house a home, right? Because of the people involved in it.
And the end result is more beautiful than what the individual pieces would be. And this is going to be, you know, spectacular.
I
need to
can't
come.
wait. I'm there. I'm there.
good,
I'm
great.
definitely there. So, I have an interesting piece of trivia for you. You ever wonder why running shoes are called sneakers? The answer when we come back to Northeast Living. Welcome back to Northeast Living. So did you figure out why running shoes are called sneakers? Well, once Goodyear started making vulcanized rubber soles for their Keds shoes, they were remarkably quieter than their predecessors. Their ad agency coined the term based upon the fact that you can sneak up on people while you're wearing them. We take that for granted today.
Welcome to High Rollers. High Rollers is really for everyone. It appeals to kids up until 7 p.m. We're under 21. After 7 p.m. we're 21 plus. But families, couples, kids, bachelor parties, bachelorette parties, everyone comes here and enjoys it because it's very interactive. It's a nice opportunity to spend some time with the people you love, or you want to be competitive with, or both. Part of our mission when we did these luxury lanes was to create something that was so out of the box. So here, in addition to having the bowling lanes, there are oversized bowling lanes. So every space is wider. There are literally living rooms at the top of every space. That's probably our #1 amenity. But we also have a piano lounge, and we have an unbelievable, very innovative menu. We have a lot of people who come just to eat here. We have a great bar scene that occurs kind of in the middle of the space. So bowling lanes on each side, VIP lanes on one side, 14 lanes on the other side. There's a total of 20 lanes, as well as billiards, and also kind of game room where you can play shuffleboard, you can play all kind of your favorite games you grew up with. Our goal was to create kind of a Las Vegas 1920s brand. So it looks very luxurious. It doesn't look like a sports bar, but it has some of that appeal. We've had the Celtics through the door and they love to bowl and come here. The Patriots come all the time and bowl. The Red Sox, are around, and we really think that's fun, that appeals to everyone.
This past winter was really harsh. I literally remember when snow on the other side of my driveway was piled up to just about here. But now spring has sprung. The warm weather has arrived. It's time to do some spring cleaning on the family jalopy. and I like to start on the inside. You want to start by pulling the floor mats out. You can actually use a stiff bristle brush to clean these later, and then use a wet dry vacuum cleaner to dry them out and let the drying finish in the sun. And then we want to get some of the, how shall we put it, trash removed. You're going to vacuum the inside with an electric vacuum cleaner. Also, when it comes to upholstery, you want to vacuum along the seats here too and spread the seams open. Grit and grime that collects here can act as a knife, and over time it will actually slice through the upholstery at the stitch points if you don't clean it out. You can also use the vacuum cleaner to clean off surfaces such as the console and the instrument panel, but be sure to switch over to a plush brush so that you don't scratch the plastic. You want to turn this into this. Next, we're going to hose off the entire car, paying particular attention to any grit and grime that's been trapped along the lower door panels and in the rocker panel area. We're going to try to knock that off with just a little bit of water pressure as opposed to with a sponge or a towel wash mitt. However, before I get started, you're probably going to want to move. And I like to start at the bottom of the car, underneath. And you do that because dirt, which is under the car, will actually stick to the car, hold moisture, and it promotes rust. Don't forget to do in under wheel wells too. I use a sponge, although some people prefer a wash mitt, and in this case I'm using water with no soap in it. Generally speaking, you won't need soap, even for a really dirty car that's been through the winter. One suggestion though, if you do use soap, make sure you don't use dishwashing liquid. That will strip any remnants of wax that's on the car right off very, very quickly. Rinse the sponge often. You may not be able to get all the dirt off, and if you can't, that's okay. We're going to treat that later with special products designed to get through to the really tough stuff. I'm going to finish drying the car now using this synthetic chamois. The reason you want to dry your car after you wash it is if you don't, all those water droplets will dry, leave spots, and it will look as if you didn't wash your car at all. Remember, spring is here. It's time to get out there and do a little spring cleaning.
Jim Shea's here, and he's a writer for the Hartford Courant. He also happens to be a new author. He wrote a great book called Touche, and he's here to talk to us a little bit about this exciting new book. Congratulations.
Well, thanks. I appreciate it.
So tell me a little bit about your career and how it all started.
Well, you know, I started out, I was going to be I thought I was going to be a lawyer when I was in college.
A lawyer, okay.
And I went to law school, and after 2 weeks I said, this is not a good idea.
Not for you?
No, this isn't going to work out. So I have a series of other jobs after that, and eventually, you know, fell into journalism. And, you know, through the course, you know, covered a lot of stuff, and now, you know, I've gotten to the point where, you know, I write columns here.
And what I love about your writing and reading the book, it's very playful, and it also reflects your life as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, my life, and I think a lot of people's lives. I think that's why it appeals to people, is that, you know, they read this thing and say, hey, that happened to me, you know, or, oh, yeah, I recognize that.
So it relates to a lot of people, and it's funny as well. You have a great sense of humor.
Oh, well, thanks. That's good. Yeah, that's what I'm shooting for.
Well, it's very playful. And tell me, when you put this collection together, because it's really all these different articles that you've once written or been inspired by, was it hard to select? Because being a writer myself, I know we're very critical. So how did you come up with all the content for this?
Yeah, you know, you're right about that. It was, you know, there were probably, I'd say, 1,000 or so columns that I had to go through, that I've had, you know, that I've gone through over the years. And I mean, some of them I liked, and then some of them I didn't like. And then, as you say, as being a writer, half of them I'm like, oh, gee, I wish I did that.
Did I really write that, or what was I thinking?
Yeah, that was terrible, you know. But we eventually tried to, you know, to put it into categories, and so it was a little bit easier then. And then, you know, we had one category which was finally a miscellaneous kind of thing, and so I stuck the ones that didn't fit anywhere in there.
Is there any subjects that when you sit down and you write it that you say to yourself, oh my God, even that's great for me? I mean, where do you find that, because you're very articulate when you speak, and you're very clever the way things transition, and so do you ever surprise yourself?
Yeah, well, I think that happens with a lot of writers, you know, is that you, a lot of times you don't know what you think about something until you start to write about it. And it's the same thing with humor. You might have a glimmer of an idea, and then you start to write it, and all of a sudden it changes a little bit. Next thing you know, you end up with a product that's totally different than what you started out with.
Well, it's a great book, Touche, from Jim Shea. Thank you so much, and it's available at Amazon.com.
The Hartford Marathon Foundation is a not-for-profit organization. We were founded in 1994, and our mission is to give people opportunities or reasons to be healthy and fit, or to get healthy and fit, and we do that through events and training programs. We produce 25 events and about 40 training programs a year. The ING Hartford Marathon is extra special. We've grown tremendously. When we started, we had 354 marathon runners the first year, and this year we will expect close to 14,000 runners. It's a spectacular course. We encourage our runners to run for charitable causes. So runners will choose to run for the Leukemia Society, or the Connecticut Children's Medical Center, or any number of charities. Last year, we estimate that close to $800,000 was raised for charity at the marathon. The most striking story memory that I have at the marathon was, this is many years ago, a gentleman called, and his son, who was 5 years old, had cerebral palsy. And the gentleman wanted to run to raise enough money to buy a very special van to drive his son around in. Now, this man was not an elite marathon runner. He struggled greatly to be able to complete this distance. And as he approached the finish line, his son was in a wheelchair at the side of the road, and he scooped his son up in his arms and ran across the finish line with his son. And it just brought tears to my eyes, then still does. It's an unbelievable gift to be able to plan something like this, have the support that we get to make it happen, and then to have the outcome where you have literally changed thousands of lives. You have people that are crying as they cross the finish line, are holding hands, hugging. I've seen people do a cartwheel across the finish line, and I've seen people get down on the ground and kiss the ground. It's just an inspiring place to be.
So where do we start?
You have to have a seat and we'll measure your feet.
I think I'm a 9.
Let's take a look.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Michael DeCibio, owner of New Balance South Windsor and Avon, and I'm a board certified pedorthist. When you come into the store, we take more of a personal approach and really pay attention to what they need, whether it's for running or hiking, because we have all the different options. We sit you down and we measure your feet the old-fashioned way, and then from there we go more high-tech.
All right, what is this?
All right, well, this is the New Balance Fit System. It's one of the highest tech systems on the market. You're actually standing on over 5,000 brass sensors that measure all the pressure points in the sole of your feet.
Really?
We're able to use that information to figure out your arch height, your pressure points, and then from that we can pick out the right shoes for your feet.
They're not only comfortable, they're stylish as well. I have never had a pair of sneakers that are so comfortable. Thank you so much, New Balance.
Our commitment is to not only be a store in the community, but also to be helpful to the community and help out our customers and our neighbors. We make donations throughout the year. We've done things with the Salvation Army for kids in Hartford. We sponsor the Avon Road Race. We sponsor the Hartford Marathon. We've part of the Komen event. One of our really good customers approached us and said that there was a boy that he worked with that was in need. He wanted to go to camp, but he needed running shoes and some hiking boots and didn't have the means to get them. So we helped him out. We fit him, put him through the whole process, and donated those shoes to him. And it meant a lot to him because he was able to go to camp and be comfortable and do the things he wanted to do.
If all cars in the United States were placed end to end, well, it would probably be Memorial Day weekend. Owning a car is quite similar to owning a pet. We take the time to pick out just the right one. We want to be happy with them since we'll be spending a lot of time together. Americans have the same love affair with their cars. But when it comes to spring cleaning, let's just say our pets get more attention than our cars. Don't go away. More Northeast Living when we come back. Not long ago, we met with the Home Builders Association and we learned about their 64th annual home and remodeling show. Helen, you're my new best friend because anyone that can accomplish as much as you have has to have a magic wand and an amazing team.
I do have an amazing team. Tuesday morning they came in and they set up the structure within a few hours. Shortly after that they put down the flooring. It's amazing what's being accomplished in a few days for a few days. Along with this beautiful flooring, we have fantastic lighting. We have a 3D LED television.
And the bathroom.
The bathroom is
Talk about
fantastic.
the bathroom.
The bathroom, we have this beautiful couples shower, latest Kohler products, beautiful, beautiful thing.
But there's also a garden as well, so I'm gonna check out the garden next. If you're gonna enjoy the garden, that means you're gonna be outside. This guy can help you. Hey Mark, how are you?
Thank you, how are you?
Good. I absolutely love what you did here.
This is actually a natural stone. It's a travertine, available for interior or exterior use.
The feature home has appliances from Contractors Home Appliances.
In the featured home, what we have is an oven just like this one, a Genair wall oven, which is very high in technology. And we also supplied the feature with an induction cooktop, much like this one, that works with magnets to generate heat. Therefore, people don't get their hands burned when cooking.
Well, here we created a waterfall feature made out of natural stone. This is a new technique that came out. It's called a Sierra Blend Ashlar. Works good with cabinets, dark colors, light colors. It's just overall good stone.
Home entertainment systems have come a long way. Now we're dedicating rooms to just that.
This is a brand new state-of-the-art Samsung 3D television. And we also have speakers from KEF. The lights dim and it's just like the theater.
Let there be light. No home is complete without having proper lighting.
Well, this vignette represents Restoration Lighting Gallery, which is our sister company, which is right across the street from our main showroom.
This is the one place you can come, meet the experts, and also talk to them. The Home Builders Association of Hartford. For more great information, check out their website at hbahartford.com.